we're just curious to know what is happening that side, and you know the reality of what's happening that side.
I didn't even know that there is someone like Captain Traore still existed in our country. When you can do things right, you don't have to wait for permission.
Africans on Africa, let's go.
Cool. Welcome to Africans on Africa podcast, man. And I know across the continent, and actually, let's say across the globe, really, the diaspora has been talking about Ibrahim Traore. And Ivan and I, we're very far from Burkina Faso. But a few years ago, I met Sidi. We were working on a project together, and he was really very, very, very smart, very helpful guy, and we made that project work. And so when this came up, Ivan said, "Hey, do we know anyone in Burkina Faso, man?" I said, "Actually, yeah, there's this guy. He's a gamer." First, he loves playing video games, but also he's quite clued up, and we really wanted to talk to a regular person from a regular Burkinabe, and I thought we should have this conversation with you, Sidi. And I want to thank you so much, man, for making time for us. I know we've been talking about having the conversation, and we're finally here. So I am Tabiso from South Africa, Ivan from Zimbabwe, and today joining us from Burkina Faso, Sidi. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, hello Tabiso, hello Kasuri, yeah, hello the world. So I'm Sidi, and I'm from Burkina Faso, as Tabiso introduced. I'm a gamer, and yeah, I'm a proud citizen from Burkina Faso. Yeah, of course, and it's a huge pleasure for me to be here this morning. And yeah, I can wait for a great talk, and yeah, and a mutual
Yeah,
share.
man.
Thank you so much.
We got on a podcast together before GTA 6 came out, yeah?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Sidi, I'm really grateful that you joined us. As Tabiso said, like, this is a conversation that we have been having in between ourselves, and I'm sure all Africans would agree that if you're in Africa, there is a revolution that is happening. There is a political revolution that has been happening. And part of that political revolution has been that if you look at the changes that have been happening in the South African elections, for example, in the revolution that we are seeing currently in Kenya with the Gen Zs and the youth immersing themselves within the political system and raising their voice. But I think part of that and part of what we have been talking about, Tabi, so is this revolution and this explosion of conversation that has been happening ever since 2022 when Ibrahim Traore took over power from Paul Henry Sandaoga Dimimba through a coup d'etat. And part of the changes that have happened since then, I mean, like, a lot of things have been happening. Burkinabes have bought mines at a price of, I think, like 80 million. And recently I read an article that says Burkinabes have been making about 18 billion US dollars from the mines. I think there has been a shutdown of speech in an effort to contain what narratives come out of Burkina Faso, but also like a lot of development that we have seen in Burkina Faso. And I think what I'm building up to and where I would want to maybe start, Sidi, is how you have experienced a lot of types of Burkina Fasos. How has Burkina Faso been for an ordinary person ever since 2022?
So honestly, actually, when I wake up every day, actually, I'm probably because I can see like a kind of awakening, yeah. So I didn't even know that there is someone like Captain Traore still existed in our country until he showed up, yeah, and he showed up in the great ways. So like we couldn't expect, yeah. So he just shows that like that when you can do things right, you don't have to wait for permission. Yeah, to go and grab what you can grab and start building what you can build. Inspire people to follow up to make them listen without without forcing them, showing them the way, inspiring them, and yeah, this kind of the hope, the kind of true courage, the kind of leadership. So I can see through this brave guy, if I can say like this. So actually, compared to my last year of existence before now, I can see that Burkina Faso is just waking up. Yeah.
Wow, waking up. That's a nice way of expressing it, I think. If I'm talking to you, like, what was Burkina Faso like for you 5 years ago versus now? What's different?
So, you know, actually 5 years ago, I was dreaming to see a Burkina Faso united, uh, a Burkina Faso proud, a Burkina Faso without any complex of inferiority, So actually, I can say that this feeling is not a dream anymore, because I can see things moving the best way. Uh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ma-
Yeah.
If I mean, I know sometimes we used to talk, you and I, every now and then, and I remember sometimes like there'll be like no internet. I think you guys had a curfew. Was that during the coup? I can't remember exactly. Um, what was that like going through that? And this is like what you come out with now. Oh, sorry. Is my audio okay? By the way, it's gonna be much better on the when we edit. Yeah, I was saying. I mean, you guys, the country has gone through a lot, right? Yeah, maybe let's start. Maybe you can tell us about that. Imagine someone who doesn't know anything about Burkina Faso. Why is everybody so excited now about Captain Traore?
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Um. So because uh, I'm not really politically expert, but I'm gonna tell what I feel.
Yes.
People are starting to believe again. We've gone through a lot. I can see there is record, there's information. So, actually, there's more talk about building, about responsibility, about doing things right. And yeah, when I look around, I can see you, like me, who are motivated. So, and I can see a government that is taking steps. And I feel that this country is entering a new phase, you know, uh, one where we want to rely on ourselves and build something from inside out. You see, we know that we have to, be part of this movement. I don't know if you heard about young people, sleeping, how to say, around the roundabout. You see,
Yeah, on the
we
streets.
call them locally. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Wayinyas. I don't know if you know what it means. So it's in Mori. Wayinya. It's a kind of if it's a kind of an alert. That means when something happens, we will just like we'll raise an alert, and it will make like an echo, every young across every city, every street. Excuse me, can just like how to say, can just like be part of something about protecting, how to say, the revolution. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Sidi, I want to pause there for a bit, and I think for context, we'll plug in a bit of pictures of what the Wahinyas look like. And correct me if I'm wrong, but these are people who are putting their lives and they are sleeping in the streets and alerting each other just in case something comes. But the point here is to be able to be in a position where they can protect Ibrahim Traore if there is any threat that comes to him or any threat that comes to the current state of Burkina Faso. And my question with that is, you spoke of a lot of hope and a lot of motivation. What is the thing that gets the young people to want to protect a leader in that way? They are not being paid for this. So what do you think makes people say, I want to be a Wahinya and I want to be part of contributing to the state in this way? What brings that about?
Okay, actually, I think that so we have a great leader. Actually, yeah, he's doing incredible thing. We didn't know somebody could do it, not only in Burkina Faso but in Africa. So we offer just like yeah, he shows that we can't not just rely on one people, on one person. I mean, even if he's doing right, even if he can do it, yeah, even if he's a great leader, yeah. But because we realized that a leader needs people behind him. He needs a community to share the same vision to support the mission, you see. So I think that's why Yofa stepping up and yeah, being part of the building for a new phase of our motherland, you know. I didn't know if I really answered your question.
No, you did. I was about to follow up and say, like, you speak of all these aspects that are positive, right? But on a personal level, have you felt the impact of what Traore has done since 2022? So on a personal level, how has your life changed ever since the transition to Traore?
Oh, yeah, okay. So on a personal level, it just like I said before, I didn't know somebody like him existed in my country for sure. And actually, when I wake up and I can do something really right, I don't wait for permission. Yeah, I just go and just start it. Yeah, yeah. That's the kind of feeling that he's inspiring me. Actually, yeah.
What is
And
it?
no matter how great you are, yeah. Okay, yeah. Please go ahead.
I was going to ask you. You were saying you didn't know like you could have a leader like this, right? And some of the things that he does, it's motivating. What do you remember recently that's been motivating for you? What has he done that's been motivating for you? I'm talking from the point of view of like people who don't know anything here. So far for you, what has been so motivating?
Okay, so you know, as he just took the power, he just so we can see obviously he just starting to he had focused on the main point of development of the country, security, to make us like self-sufficient in terms of food. Yeah, but if I can
Okay.
say like this as a shortcut, you see, I can see that's the main point for a country to be developed. Yeah, when we're well fed and secured, I think that we can be, stable enough to start building things and stepping forward for sure.
Yeah.
And of course, there's recently a program called like Faso Mebo. Yeah, I don't know if you heard about it. So it's a project that consists of like building every I can say every part of the city, making it like refreshing every part of the city. Yeah, it's a community project. Yeah, everybody's invited. To bring, even if it's just like one brick. You can contribute. However you can. Yeah, exactly. And you can see like people are already taking part because they know that it's about community. It's not about a single person. Yeah.
What's it
So
called?
this program is really inspiring. And yeah, please.
What did you call it?
Fasomebo. Yeah, the project name is Fasomebo. Yeah, Fasomebo. Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you participated in Fasimubu?
Oh, not yet, to be honest. So everybody's contributing its own way, his own way. So yeah.
I think for me, it's the sense of community and the all hands on deck. I think something that you said, Sidi, was that it doesn't matter what you bring; it can even be a brick everybody can bring to contribute to that. But something that there's a rhetoric that has been going around like the world, and specifically in conversation that goes with Burkina Faso, and this it's this positive spirit and this positive spiritedness that has overflown within Burkina Faso. But I wanted to ask something in terms of a sense of being free within Burkina Faso, like in comparison to the past, as that part of the community, is everybody feeling like they? I know you spoke of hope, but do people feel like they are free in terms of doing what they want in comparison to the previous administration?
Oh, yes, of course. Okay, yeah. Because people are being actually they're being encouraged to create, build, and invest. Uh, and also this entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah, exactly. How to say? So instead of just relying on government, actually people are encouraged, to take the step. And when somebody wants to create something, when it's really well structured and pertinent, so it's not like in the past you will just struggle and no access to some kind of how to say, some kind of financing, if I can say like this. Yeah, nowadays it's pretty more easy for people, to get access to uh for the project to be really considered. Yeah. And for example, I don't have the exact name, but there are some people who's coming from diaspora, yeah, and started to build the project here. So they say that they didn't have access to some kind of permission to build the project here, but now it's pretty much easy for them to get access to it. So when you have an entrepreneur project, it's more easy for you nowadays to have access to permission, so than than before.
How is how is employment for young people in Burkina Faso now? And
Um.
I
Mhm.
know Traore is not around for a long time, right? It's not like
Mhm.
he's been there for 10 years or whatever. But just recently, since COVID, how are things
Mhm.
for young people? How is it easy to find work? Now, I'm asking because I know in South Africa it's very difficult. It's very
Yeah.
hard. Like the unemployment for young people is bad, and we have
Mhm.
like problems like drugs and crime. It's really
Mhm.
bad. So I was just asking, what is it like in Burkina Faso? Are young people working? Is it easy to get a job?
So, so I don't know exactly, but we can make a kind of deduction, about new things like new industry, like tomato industry and so on, that have been created by the actual government. Yeah, of course, you can see that that will lead to new employment, and you see, and people who are encouraged to come back to the country from the diaspora. You see, so that will obviously create how to say uh that will obviously create employment. You see, so I don't have the data exactly,
No, that's fine. If you think
Mm.
but
about yourself and your friends,
yeah.
what
Mhm.
are you guys doing for work? And is that easy?
um I'm not gonna say it's easy, but even though we're not exactly where we aim to get, you see, there's this kind of hope, this kind of courage, because it's not like an inactive hope. It's just like we know that we'll get there. We just have to build ourselves first, and make something concrete. You see, be part of what is going on, actually. Yeah, be part of the movement. And so it's not really easy, but we know that um so for my part, I'm looking for a way to be really useful, and I know I'm already useful, yeah. Yeah, to be really impactful for the country, yeah, by doing something that can inspire other people the same way, if I can say, I'm a really little person, but the same way Captain Traore just, is giving us this kind of energy. Yeah, you see.
But I think for me that's the important thing. What you're saying currently in terms of when an individual says, "I'm also looking for a way to contribute," it gets back to that sense of community that you were talking about. But I also wanted to ask. I think Tabiso, you brought this powerful point, and I think what I wanted to ask is that African countries, especially those that are going through some stuff, and which is a lot, unfortunately, there is an uptake of drugs or social ills that happen within those periods. So I'm just looking at the transition from before Captain Traore and currently. Did Burkina Faso suffer those social ills, and what has been happening currently in terms of is there drug take in Burkina Faso, and how is Captain Traore's government dealing with that?
That's a kind of tricky question. But
Yeah.
so um so I'm gonna speak like globally about illegal things and crime, Yeah. So how to say uh you know as we all know, he just focused on security issues. Yeah. So whether it's just like inside or outside of, if I can say like this, yeah. There's a lot of operation inside the country. I don't know. Uh, you know, I don't know if I mean that. So there is a lot of control. You know, things are not really like before. Yeah.
Mm,
So when people like commit a crime, so the authority take it really seriously until they lay hands on any single person who's involved. Actually, yeah. So
mm,
I know that there's been like a people who was like, uh, so yeah, so they're working like to secure every corner inside the city. Yeah, so people can feel safe to move around and do their things really, safely. Yeah. I mean that, exactly. They're not here to joke. They're here like to lay to kind of lay a structure for us to follow. Yeah, and I don't know. Even if I think that even if somebody else was about to, come after them to, to lead the country, I think that will be kind of the guideline. Yeah,
So
and
like,
But
yeah, yeah, and people will be like, people are also aware of what we want actually. Yeah, they just building Captain Traore and his guys. They just building like a new solid foundation for the country. Yeah.
oh,
oh,
that's
that's
interesting.
interesting.
So
So you
Yeah.
see them as, or Captain Crowder's administration, as building the foundation. So whoever comes next is not starting from zero. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think I'm not a political expert, but that's what I feel
No,
personally.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I'm also
Yeah.
not a political expert. I'm
Yeah,
very
I know.
interested in what, and I'm very interested in how you feel.
Yeah.
I think that's very important
Mhm.
because you're there, right?
Yeah.
This is your life.
Yeah.
Um, so tell me this: if I come to Burkina Faso
Yeah.
in 2035, in 10 years' time,
Yeah.
everything goes well, what what must Burkina Faso look like in 10 years' time? If everything goes well,
Oh wow. So in 10 years, so the country is really beautiful and I really love your country, but I didn't visit your country yet, but I think you'd like to stay forever. Yeah.
I mean, this you are into gaming,
Yeah.
right?
and
And
you've
you've
been
been
doing
doing
this
this
for years. Just
just for
people
people
watching
watching.
and
And Ivan, can you tell us about what you do in gaming? I have a point. I'm gonna take it somewhere.
can you tell us about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Now I think I can breathe and reply. Yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. Because, uh, I say that I can breathe because, there is sensitive things and we have to be careful. Not because I'm scared. No, I'm not scared, but because, I have to be careful about things I'll be sharing. And I know nothing secret, no, but you see, but sometimes people can misunderstand things. That's why I say that, yeah, actually I can breathe because, talking about country, it's really sensitive. Yeah, you see, yeah. And yeah, I'm not representing Burkina Faso officially here. Yeah, but yeah, I'm just sharing what I feel as you asked before the podcast. Yeah. So thank you. So as a gamer, so it started out with some local competition. So at this time, I didn't even know that there were opportunities. Gaming can be like more than just playing in my bedroom. You see? So after this local competition, the champion had opportunity to travel, around Africa to meet other champions. We said, hey, damn, there is something we can do. So we used it to say e-sport outside Burkina Faso, but we didn't know that it will come here. So, okay, so we started to try to get into associations, yeah. And so it wasn't something new because we used it together on the weekend and playing with friends, sometimes it was in my place, sometimes it was um at some other friend's place. Now we started to try to structure things, yeah. And that's how I started, building my setup, microphone, gaming headset, even a new console, subscribing for, uh, a better Wi-Fi signal, yeah. And I started
When
streaming.
when was this? When was
Yeah.
this?
It was
What
like
year?
so it started in 2027. No, 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 2017,
When
2017. 2017 in the future. Yeah. Yeah, it started in 2017. Yeah. So, but I officially started streaming, I think like it's 5 years ago. Yeah, I think like on 2020 or 2021. Yeah, I started streaming and, yeah, and sharing my vibe. So, the goal was to, how to say, to create a kind of hype. Yeah. And it was like a way also to show, how to say, people who can, so how to say, who can just like push us, like, so it was kind of a way to look for sponsors. Yeah. You know, yeah, exactly. Yeah. To show what we're doing. Uh, so what is the, how to say, what are the potential opportunities in this area? Yeah, exactly. So to make it really short, yeah. So,
are you able to make money from that?
um, not regularly, only through competitions. Yeah,
So
yeah.
right now for you,
Mhm.
um, what is the main source of income for you right now?
Oh, okay. So my main source of income is just like I'm working from I'm doing freelance jobs and and also remote jobs. Yeah, but actually I have a permanent remote job. That's not freelancing. Yeah. Oh, that's how we met.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So tell me
Yeah.
this then. So you had to upgrade your Wi-Fi. You bought some
Hmm.
equipment for
Hmm.
your own setup.
Yeah.
Because 2020, 5 years ago, you start streaming. Has it ha- when the coup happened?
Hmm.
Did it affect that part of your life?
No, I don't think.
You're still able to do all of that stuff.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Because plus I'm also doing home tutoring, you see? Yeah, exactly, yeah. So how to say no, I don't think it's affected because at this time, so it was kind of, I don't know, so when it happened, you see the country has to go under some kind of uh I don't know how can say, I don't know if I'll say restoration, or people have to just stay careful in the first days, yeah, yeah, activity will be surely not really regular than before, but yeah, after that, yeah, I think things went really okay. Yeah,
If you think about the gaming community, you guys
yeah.
play video games. Do
Mhm.
you think it might grow, it might be bigger under Traore, and you think about the future? Is something like
Mm.
that grow?
So, yep, for sure. Because I think that actually, we, I can say that we're open to innovation. Yeah. But I don't know, gaming is actually not a priority for sure. Yeah, no, 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 actually. And it's really, yeah, it's really comprehensible. Yeah. There's more lot of priority we just have to handle before coming to gaming. But we gamers, we will keep building things and, when the time will come, so yeah. It
Nice.
will, yeah.
Tabi, so when I came to this conversation, something that I was thinking about was this idea of people in Burkina Faso actually being scared to have conversations, or being scared to, having fear to talk around these conversations. And I think there's something that you said, Sidi, which is, you also don't want people to misunderstand the message and to misappropriate the message, so to speak, which I find quite very important. But there's something that Tabi, so that CD said that I found that's still resonating with me currently when you said there's this attitude that we as Africans have. We are very apologetic. We are not as brave as we make ourselves out to be. We ask for permission. We try to ask for permission, and it seems like in not asking for permission, Captain Traore is making some changes that actually work for the community and they work for the people. It just makes me think, Tabi, of how African leaders, when they go to the States, for example, they try to polish themselves up, they try to be very obedient, they try to be to make no mistake, but like once we start that cycle of not asking for permission, things could actually work out in Africa. We could just rely on ourselves and say, we are taking back what is ours and doing what we want with it. I know we're not politicians. I'm the best politician here. But what do you think about that, Tabis?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think I was just thinking of the South African president recently had to visit
The White
Donald
House.
Trump in the US, and it did not go very well. I don't know if you saw that, CD. It did not go very well. It was yeah, no, it didn't go well. And he was, he was very humble and respectful, but there's a speech from, I forgot the year. Was it 1982, 83 maybe, at the United Nations by Thomas Sankara, where he even, I mean, at the time he's also like visiting the Soviet Union, and he's telling them things like, Burkina Faso will assist with the space program of the Soviet Union, um, only if we get the guarantee that when that thing goes into space, there'll be a Burkinabe on board as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like, "Oh, thank you for thinking of us. Oh, we appreciate it." He's like, "You want this? Here's what I want. Here's what we want."
Yeah.
And I encourage everybody to watch. It's on YouTube. The speech he did at the UN, man, just freaking phenomenal. Again, he's also like dressed in military guy. Yeah. But he was yeah. So I think you've got a point there, Ivan. We're quite apologetic.
We are quite apologetic. Even in our own country, we say, "Oh, please come, please, your sanctions, they don't have to affect us. Please, when you're putting tariffs, please consider us. Aid, consider us. But we are the ones with the resources."
But you know what? I don't know how much time you guys have spent with like people from Ghana or Nigeria. They are not as apologetic as many other Africans that I've come across. Like, they're very upfront, communicate very clearly, very blunt. This is what I want. No, I don't want that. I don't like that. Blah blah blah. Sometimes
But on
they're
the
just talking
but on
friendly.
the political space,
hold
I want
on,
to hear from
hold on,
someone from Ghana
hold on.
specifically.
So like it's the way they communicate, the way they grow up, even within families, right? And I would have expected that to happen on the leadership level
Exactly.
when you're communicating with like people from other countries or leaders from other countries, And
Yeah.
instead, these guys are just. But when they're home, they rock and roll like these presidents, yeah.
And like it's this thing that's happening in Ghana. Like I'm glad you took it there because I was thinking of this discourse of the returnees that is happening currently in Ghana and how it has inflated prices and some people within the Ghanaian community. I want to hear from someone from Ghana, but also the people in Ghanaian communities are like, oh, can't we also define our own economies without actually the people from the West defining our economy in a way that's a bit twisted. But I think ultimately where it takes me, and I'm asking to everybody who's watching, but also to Tabiso and to CD is, as we're talking to CD as well, like there's something that he never said that always in conversations that we have as Africans. He never spoke about this idea of democracy or this idea of a dictatorship. But also, I like the fact that in Burkina Faso they timeline things from the coup. Why I'm saying that's important is because you tend to ask yourself the question, like, when we talk about a democracy, who is it benefiting? How are we defining it? Are we defining it from a Western kind of discourse, or is a democracy something that does not actually function for Africa and Africans? Or we can also define our own political system and how we run our country. I like how Sidi has always been saying the bravery of Captain Traore, but also the thing of not asking for permission, guys. That thing for me, I think it's important because we are asking for a lot of permission. But if we are defined as a democracy, so to speak, then we have to ask for permission.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't think democracy is working for African countries. I know I'm generalizing, but when I think about it, but what we do know works and has worked is communities.
Yep.
And see, you were talking about community just now. That program
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in Rwanda, they had a similar program, but for cleaning.
Cleaning,
Here,
yeah.
there, where everybody just cleans up the streets and just make Kigali beautiful and green and whatever. In Maputo, Mozambique, I remember seeing vegetable gardens, like in the center of just outside of the city. There'll be like spinach and cabbage, and everybody's taking care of it together, so everybody is fed.
Yeah. So
You know,
oh, excuse me, please go ahead. Yeah.
no, go.
Yeah. So you remind me of something that's actually happening, about cleaning the city. Yeah. So actually, so, actually when you just, throw trash anywhere, if you're being caught, wow, they're just gonna like, testify to your grandchildren's. Yeah. 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 Because, they're like also building a kind of discipline program, Yeah. When you're not disciplined, you will just go and clean some local areas, yeah, for days. Yeah. And
Wow.
that, yeah, that also applies when you run out a red light. Yep. Yeah. You will go
Yeah.
and just, you will go for community services
Yeah.
for days.
I
Yeah.
mean, in Singapore, if they catch you throwing gum
Yeah.
in the street, I think they
Mhm.
fine you or they arrest you, something like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting what you say, like discipline.
Yeah.
Oh,
You go
because
for
I would be in trouble. I don't have good discipline. I run red lights.
So ultimately, for me, the question gets to start to be okay. The first one that I already asked, but now I want to ask you guys as we are wrapping up. Maybe from CD's point, then Tabiso. CD, from your point, what do you hope the rest of Africa can take away from what is happening currently in Burkina Faso, and what do you hope that we have heard within this conversation that you wanted to share with the rest of Africa?
So the first question, what South Africa can, take from Burkina Faso? I don't know what.
No, I'm saying what does the
what?
African community take away from
African community.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me see. I don't know. So I'll just say that if what is happening in Burkina Faso is inspiring to them. So I think that, I'm not the one who's gonna tell them go. So excuse me, yeah, to take something from it. But so it will come like naturally. They will just like support. So you see, yeah, they will just, speak up. Yeah, they will say that, yeah, we like this thing. This thing is inspiring. So Burkina Faso is doing this thing great or that, you see, and they will follow the movement. I don't know. Surely, I'm sure you've seen like when people were, just like protesting. So I don't know if it's sensitive, but about the general language, you see what it says and what people just, how to
Yeah.
say, how people reply back. Yeah, you see, yeah, that's something that will come naturally when
Mm.
they are aligned. They will show it. So yeah,
Makes sense.
and I also just hope that uh, so we African together we join the same movement and just like start to grow together. That will give us more power, and we'll be like as Castiri said, we'll be like how to say, it'll be like more unapologetic. Yeah. And yeah, for sure, it will be like a positive virus. We will all, incarn. Yeah. So
Yeah.
hey, that's it.
Tabiso, what your takeaways?
Yeah, community, man, community. I think we need more of community, and it sounds like people have it in Burkina Faso. It's a very interesting thing, like to lead from a community point of view, like build
Yeah.
communities first. I think it's quite interesting. Um, and I think there's something to learn from that. So yeah, man, thank you so much for sharing that. There's a lot that I didn't know that I learned today from
Yeah.
you, Sidi. So
No.
thank you so much for that, man.
Yeah.
I think from my side, I don't know why I put myself at the end, but I think it's this idea that you guys both spoke about of community, and this thing of standing with the person who stands with the rest of the people. I think that is a tide that's coming within the African continent that no matter how hard anyone can try, we cannot stop it. And I think it's in the words that you also say, CD, which is we have to support, we have to speak up, and we have to follow the movement. I think we have seen how Africans have been supporting Captain Traore, but also how they have been standing up with him. It's starting from Burkina Faso, where you're saying the movement of Wahinya, the community, and people standing with him, and also him standing with the rest of Africans and the community of Burkina Faso and seeing it develop as well within that context. And I think that's what I'm getting, and that's what I'm hearing. But I also want to hear with people online, like, what do you think of African politics in terms of, do you think democracy is what we need? Do you think a benevolent leader is what we need? Do we need dictatorships in the African continent? What works for Africans to be progressive, but also within that, as Africans are trying to progress, what is the ideal way that we can move forward as Africans? I don't know. For me, it's like this sense of community is something that we can put down in the political system and arch our way forward, because it has been working for a lot of for a lot of societies, but we just haven't been trying it or investing it hard enough. And I think because it's not a Western approach, we've not been doing it enough. So what do you think? But thank you so much, Sidi, for joining us. And thank you for sharing your experiences with us. We really appreciate that. And we want to hear from more people who are in Burkina Faso, but also who are in other African countries where revolutions are taking place. Tabiso, thank you so much. Sidi, thank you so much. And I am Ivan Katsere. And we are Africans. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Africans on Africa.